The ultimate beginner's guide to Alibaba, what they don't tell you. Did you know you can source products directly from manufacturers at wholesale prices? And why do so many beginners lose money on Alibaba? And how can you avoid being one of them? In this video, we're going over the basics of using Alibaba for beginners. You'll learn how to find legitimate suppliers, avoid scams, and negotiate deals like an expert. Stick around to unlock the secrets most beginners never discover and turn Alibaba into your ultimate business tool. What really is Alibaba? Let's start things off by understanding what Alibaba actually is. It's the world's largest virtual trade show with over 200,000 suppliers offering 200 million products. It's like having access to factories all over the world in one place. What makes Alibaba truly revolutionary is its role in global trade. 20 years ago, if you wanted to source products directly from manufacturers, you needed connections, large budgets, and probably a ticket to China. Today, anyone with an internet connection can access the same suppliers used by major brands and retailers, from electronics and clothing to industrial equipment and raw materials. If it can be manufactured, you'll find it here. That's the big picture of what Alibaba is. But to really succeed on the platform, you need to understand how it works behind the scenes. Let's get into something that most beginners get completely wrong about Alibaba. Understanding Alibaba, you've probably heard people call Alibaba the Amazon of China, but that's not quite right. While Amazon is primarily a retail platform, Alibaba is something entirely different. It's a business-to-business marketplace designed for wholesale transactions. The suppliers you'll encounter on Alibaba fall into three main categories, and understanding the difference is crucial for your success. First, you've got manufacturers who create products from scratch. These are the factories with their own production lines, engineering teams, and quality control processes. They typically offer the best prices, but might have higher minimum order quantities. Then there are trading companies which act as middlemen between factories and buyers. While they might charge slightly more, they often have better English communication skills and more experience dealing with international buyers. They can be particularly valuable if you're looking to source multiple different products. Finally, you have wholesalers who buy in bulk from manufacturers and resell to smaller buyers. They might have lower minimum order quantities but higher prices. Each type of supplier has its place, and knowing who you're dealing with can help you negotiate better deals and set realistic expectations. The product range on Alibaba is simply incredible. We're talking about everything from basic components like screws and fabric to finished products like smartphones and furniture. And many suppliers on Alibaba offer customization options. Want your logo on that product, different colors, special packaging? These are all possible when you're working directly with manufacturers on Alibaba. Now that you understand what makes Alibaba unique, let's talk about something practical that you can use right away. How to find exactly what you're looking for on the platform. Because trust me, this isn't like searching on Amazon or eBay, how to search for products. First, you search for the products you want, but finding the right ones isn't just about typing in a name. It's about knowing how suppliers list them. They don't always use the same words as buyers. For example, instead of phone case, they might list it as a TPU mobile phone cover or silicone smartphone shell. The closer you think like a supplier, the better your search results will be. Whether you're looking for phone cases, yoga mats, or kitchen tools, you'll see listings from different suppliers. But there's one important thing to keep in mind. Those prices you see, they're usually just starting points for negotiation. And many beginners don't realize is that almost everything is negotiable on Alibaba. The price, the minimum order quantity, the shipping terms, it's all up for discussion. This is why we always say Alibaba is more like a business tool than a shopping website. And one thing that often confuses beginners is the range of prices you'll see for similar products. Why does one supplier offer phone cases for 50 cents while another wants $2? The difference often comes down to materials, quality standards, packages, and whether you're dealing with a manufacturer or a trading company. Don't automatically go for the lowest price in manufacturing. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Let's talk about customization options, because this is where Alibaba really shines. Always look for terms like OEM or ODM in the product descriptions. These indicate that the supplier is willing to customize products to your specifications. Finding products is just the first step, but the concerning and potentially risky part is if you don't know what to look for. Let me show you how to separate the reliable suppliers from the ones you should avoid at all costs. The first thing you'll notice are the various badges and certifications on supplier profiles. Gold supplier status means they've paid for a premium membership. Trade assurance indicates they're part of Alibaba's order protection program. Verified badges show they've passed certain checks. These are good starting points, but these badges alone aren't enough. You need to look at multiple aspects. How long have they been on Alibaba? What's their transaction history like? Do they have detailed company information and clear factory photos? Every piece of information helps build a picture of reliability. Communication is another crucial factor that often gets overlooked. A good supplier should respond to your inquiries within 24 to 48 hours with clear, professional responses. If they're vague about important details or push aggressively for immediate orders, those are red flags. The best suppliers will ask you questions too. They want to understand your needs to ensure they can meet them. When it comes to certifications, don't just take their word for it. Ask for copies of relevant certificates and cross-reference them. If you're sourcing products from markets like the US or EU, make sure the supplier understands and can comply with your market's specific requirements. A legitimate supplier will be happy to provide this information. Through these guidelines, you can find some reliable suppliers and products, but many beginners get stuck when it's time to place their first order. Don't worry, I'll show you exactly how to do it the right way. Let's start with negotiation, because many people don't know how to negotiate with Chinese suppliers while placing orders. It's not about being aggressive or demanding. It's about building relationships, and this is absolutely important for successful business dealing. When you're ready to negotiate, don't start with price right away. Begin by asking questions about their production capabilities, quality control processes, and experience with your target market. Show genuine interest in their business. This approach not only helps you gather important information, but also builds rapport that can lead to better terms. Now let's talk about minimum order quantities. You'll often see suppliers listing high MOQs, but here's an insider secret. These numbers are usually negotiable, especially for first orders. The key is to explain that you're looking to build a long-term relationship but need to start smaller to test quality and market demand. Many suppliers will agree to a lower MOQ if they see potential for future business. Next, payment terms are absolutely crucial. You can start ordering by using Alibaba's trade assurance system. Think of trade assurance like a safety deposit box for your money. When you pay through trade assurance, Alibaba holds onto your money until you confirm you've received what you ordered. But here's a pro tip that most people miss. Even with trade assurance, you should never pay 100% upfront. The standard practice is to pay 30% as a deposit and 70% after production. Some suppliers might try to change the terms, but hold firm on your decision. PayPal is another option, and it's pretty safe for buyers, but many good suppliers don't like PayPal. Why? Because PayPal often favors buyers in disputes. If a supplier accepts PayPal, great, but don't rule out good suppliers just because they don't. Now let me share something crucial that could save you thousands of dollars. First, let's talk about pricing red flags. If you see prices that are significantly lower than other suppliers, there's usually a hidden downside. Maybe they're using low-quality materials, or perhaps they're a scammer who'll disappear after receiving your deposit. Remember, in manufacturing, there are certain cost floors that legitimate suppliers simply can't go below. New sellers often ignore quality checks to reduce costs. That's a big mistake. Always get samples before placing a bulk order. And you should inspect your production run too. You can hire independent inspection companies in China for around $300. It might seem expensive, but it's nothing compared to the cost of receiving a container of unsellable products. Hidden costs catch many beginners off guard. Beyond the product price, you need to consider shipping costs, customs duties, taxes, and potential quality inspection fees. Sea freight might seem cheaper than air shipping, but remember that it ties up your capital for longer and can have additional costs like port fees and storage charges. Last but not least, get everything in writing and consider working with someone who understands international trade. Yes, it's an extra expense, but it's crucial for protecting your business. And there you have it, a very basic guide to Alibaba success. Remember, everyone started as a beginner, but not everyone had access to these ideas. Use this guide to avoid common mistakes and build strong supplier relationships that can help grow your business. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.